Hey there, good day. I am at the Philly property and love the cul-de-sac, love the big lot, love the separation between the homes. If you zoom in back through there, plenty of place to kick the soccer ball or throw the baseball or do whatever. Three-car garage. Roof is newer from October of this year, so that's in good shape. There's one place up there where the soffit got repaired, so that needs fresh paint. But that's really what I saw just from the outside from my quick walk around. You could use a little bit of curb appeal, love just updating and freshening up some of this, but not needed. But, a little bit of that would go a long way. When I looked at the comps, there are comps that are there's one at 920 for a slightly larger house. So with that, you've got room to run if you do improvements. So you won't outpace the neighborhood. So when you walk in, so we're 2,900 and some change square feet. So when you walk in, you're greeted into the foyer. You've got about a, 16-foot ceiling, give or take, maybe 14. But then vaulted ceiling here. It is popcorn here, so if you wanted to get rid of that, you could. There is one little area there that looked like it had some water damage or something like that. So if you wanted to scrape it, my guy Pedro can do that. Or it's a project that you guys can take on. But this is directly adjacent to the dining room. This big open space would be the dining room. So for a big piece of furniture, big table, what have you. And then it looks like they took the living room and enclosed it at some time in the past and put these French doors so that this makes up an office space, which is actually an excellent use of this space because, grandma's furniture that nobody was allowed to sit on used to go here. And this is really just a much better use of this space. And that suffices for the office that you were talking about Alan needing, or would be a bonus if we could find it. So that said, we're gonna come this way, and this is to the master bedroom. This leads to the back, so you overlook the green space in the back and the pool. So it's a nice big space. The walkway is about 8 feet across, and then you go into the closet there. And from where I'm standing at the doorway down to the sliding glass doors, probably 22 or 3 feet. To the plantation shutters. So it's a nice, big, open, breathable space. This room is probably 14 or 15 across this way. So you've got a nice big, it's kind of a square from this wall all the way across here and back to this wall where my back is to. So you've got plenty of walls for big furniture if you had a dresser there or nightstand or something like that. This is a king bed for size. And then you've got, this big wall again for a dresser and a TV and what have you. This wall, that's a king bed. So I think that's 6 feet, plus the 2 side tables, plus you've got 4 feet really on either side. So you've got lots of room here. They've got the little tchotchke shelves that was very in the 90s. So you have that up there. Walk-in closet. You definitely could do a little optimizing in here just to, double stack things and improve how the space is used. But it's a good size space. It's probably 8 feet across by 8 feet deep. And then it's kind of affected a little bit smaller because there's an angle to this closet right in that wall. But just around that, and actually let me back up and give you some perspective. I'm standing with my behind on the dresser, and then there's the door, the entry door, and then the door into the bathroom. Sorry, I couldn't find all the light switches, and it's not a particularly bright and sunny day today, so it's a little dark inside. But this bathroom was done at some point. Travertine floors, a newer tile through the shower, rimless tile shower. That's a pretty standard shower. It's probably 3.5 by 3, 3.5 deep by 3 wide. And then you do have a soaker tub. And then you've got vanity here. Doesn't look to be in bad shape. It just looks like it needs a little bit of cleaning. But his and hers. And so this vanity is probably 7 feet long, maybe. Yeah, 7 feet. It's probably not 8. And then you do have a Doorless water closet over here. And then you do have a linen closet on the other side, opposite the water closet, okay? This other door going out of the bathroom is into bedroom number 2. It does have a closet here, and it, would be a great office if you could use it that way, but you're gonna need it with the gaggle of kids. But this room is probably my back is to the wall and is probably 13 feet across and goes probably 11 feet side to side for some perspective. Again, you got a nice big wall there for whether it's furniture or you put the bed kind of in the corner on that wall. And then you've got a good sized wall. That wall's probably 4 feet. So if you had a taller kind of chest of drawers, that would be a good place for that. And then closet to that side. So this is bedroom 2, and it has its own door out. And looking straight ahead, that's back to the master. So we did a big loop as we came through there. Okay, and again, perspective, there's the den, there's the dining room, and there's the front door. Again, plantation shutters on many of the windows, so that's a nice add. The paint, the walls look pretty clean inside. I don't see any major dings or drama. Again, it's a little bit dark in here. But one thing about the office, it is open to the top. So, private phone calls and stuff like that may get loud. It's echoey in here right now because there's not a bunch of furniture or rugs or things like that. But you do have, from this office, you have these 2 8-foot sliders that will add a lot of light when the sun is out. And then it opens up to the pool deck and the patio pavered lanai. Pavers look to be in good shape, but the pool's gonna need to be resurfaced, and I'll have more on that here in a little bit. But this is a good sized room. This is probably 10 or 11 feet deep from me to the door, and is probably 13 feet across. So putting desks, putting kids play furniture, depending on how else you'd like to use it, you've got plenty of options. And again, this dining room is also pretty big. That wall across the side, there's probably 14 feet, and then the wall underneath the window to those pillars is probably 13. It's not quite as long as that wall. So again, lots of room, plenty big table, plenty big piece of furniture if you choose. Right? And again, you've got vaulted ceilings, which add a little bit of, cool drama and texture. And then it leads around into the kitchen and then into the family room that way. While I'm standing here, I'm gonna do the quick, this is the laundry room. So laundry room's kind of in the middle of the house. You've got a dump sink, washer dryer, and then you've got this bonus room, which I love because it's kind of an additional pantry, refrigerator. There's no door here. You could add one, but you don't need to necessarily. But this room is about 6.5 feet from me to the window. And then it's probably 5 feet. That window wall is probably 5 feet. So that's an older standard refrigerator. And then that's a 3-foot shelf. So you got, lots of room here. All right. And then back out. Out that door is going to be to the kitchen, and then the dining room on to the right. And then here's the garage, 3-car garage. He's got a little bit of storage cabinets up there, which is nice to have, and a little bit of space. Garage doors had been updated at some point, and there's a garage door opener on the main door, and that seems newer as well. Again, popcorn in here. There had been some roof issues somewhere along the way. You can see one there. You can see that over there. Again, if you're going to scrape the popcorn, go ahead and scrape this too. If you're not, it's the garage, so it doesn't really matter. And then we come back through here and then into the kitchen. And this would be an eat-in kitchen area. So this pantry is here. It's got a little tchotchke shelf there. And again, just for perspective, that gap is back to the dining room. The open door to the right is the laundry room. And then you have the pantry right there. You've got a skylight up top, which is always fun and would add lots of light. And then this table is a 4-foot table by maybe 4 by 3, give or take. And we got a kitty. Hello, kitty. But this would be fine for a rectangular table that's larger than that, and even plenty of walking space. The space is probably 7 feet from the edge of that table. So if this table was larger and then pulled off the wall where you had seating for all 6 of you at one time, that's totally reasonable space to be able to do that. And then you have the kitchen counter with the overhang. The cabinets are a darker than honey color. Just, I guess a maple is probably what I was looking for. And stainless appliances, washer dryer, happy cat that wants some attention. Hello, kitty cat. And then you have the tchotchke shelves in here as well. You got a big chandelier there in the center. This, even if you wanted to, you could put a big heavy piece of furniture in here to be an island, kind of if you needed extra prep or storage area. But everything looks to be, ample storage area. There's a tumbled travertine to the back in the backsplash. So it just adds a little bit of a unique and fun edge and texture, and all the pocks in the travertine and whatever. This floor throughout so far has been an engineered hardwood. It's kind of that hand scraped engineered hardwood, so it's a good look. It looks to be in really good shape. I don't see, I see just a few minor scratches, but nothing to write home about, nothing to be really concerned about. And then this top is, it looks like terrazzo. I mean, it's not terrazzo, but that's the look, right? So all the 60s, homes in the 60s. This has a gold fleck, a tad of green in it, a little bit of brown. It's hard in this camera to really show it off. But there you can see a little bit of gold and yellow and some of that. And, it blends really nicely with the cabinets and is a nice fit. And I don't think it's a bad ad. So you can see this tumbled travertine is kind of continued to the front side of here, to the breakfast bar. So if you needed to, you could fit 4 stools there, 4 bar stools. Yeah, that's probably 4 pretty easy, actually. So that's probably 10 feet long. So you got plenty of room there. And then, 4 bar stools. And then that's, again, where the kitchen table would go. And then you've got a couple, the slider. This is a 6-foot slider where there was the 8-foot slider in the office over there. But it's 6 feet tall by 8 feet wide. So again, you'll get some natural light, and then you have the window there in the corner, which will also lend to that. He has a big piece of furniture in the corner there, and the TV not mounted over the top of the fireplace. There's fittings and fixtures if you wanted to change that, put a bigger TV up there or what have you, put a bracket or something along those lines. But this is a good size room. This L-shaped couch, this is a love seat, so slightly larger, and that's a pretty standard couch. But across the room is probably 15, 16 feet, somewhere like that. And then from me to the fireplace, and I'm standing right on the threshold that you saw in the previous pictures, is probably another 15 or 16 feet. So you got a good bit of room, and you could do this lots of different ways. I often see the couch formatted in this type of space a couple of different ways, but this seems to work for him. So, but that whole big wall, you could push that couch back, open up this floor plan, or open up this open space, and then I see the couch along the wall, and then come, an L if you had a sectional or something like that, and then you'd have all of this floor space to play and have toys or sit and do homework or whatever. So again, this overlooks and looks out into the pool deck. So the covered lanai section, from the slider, that slider on that side, to the drain, which is kind of the edge of the roof line, that's probably 10 feet. And from me across to the wall behind the TV, that's 13, give or take. So you've got some room for some seating, some shade. Otherwise, the pool deck doesn't leave a lot of seating area outside. We'll see a little bit more of that, but I do love all the green space behind here. We'll see some more of that, but just open and just private and green. There's a little bit of water to the back there. So a lot of fun, really pretty piece of property. So again, perspective now, my back is to the sliding glass door. You've got openness to the kitchen, eat-in kitchen area, kitchen, bar stools would go there, and then family room, just big and wide open, cool. Again, vaulted ceilings in here. So at the peak of the vaulted ceiling, you're probably at 12 feet, give or take. You have a hallway here for a couple of bedrooms. And then to the back, there's also another bedroom and the pool bath that leads outside, and we'll go outside through that door. All right, so I'm coming down this hallway, and you have bedroom number 3 is gonna be on this side. Bedroom number 4 is gonna be on that side. They're pretty close to matching. So this room is gonna be about a 10 by 11. I think it's 11 across that back wall and 10 feet in that window wall. And that seems to work. So closet. These 2 rooms are carpeted. The carpet probably needs to be replaced. You do have a linen closet there. And then this bathroom had a few changes done to it at some point. The flooring was done, and then the vanity was replaced. You know, it's a Home Depot vanity, is my guess. But then you got original tiles. You have this drop ceiling light, fluorescent light fixture. It's an easy change out, but would probably want to be addressed to make it current. And then this bedroom is consistent with the other bedroom. Again, no plantation shutters, so nice sizing and nice add. And then I'm gonna go down this hallway. I saw you sent me a text, so I'll call you here in just a second, but let me finish here. And you have a linen closet or storage closet here. And that would be great for games and toys and stuff like that. You have bedroom number 5 here. This one is about the same size. It's probably 10 by 10, 10 by 11. This overlooks the back of the house. So again, plantation shutters and looking out back. But you've got plenty of room for, queen beds or double beds or what have you. And then this goes directly across to the bathroom. This bathroom is all original, Formica countertops, Formica cabinets, a big 7-foot mirror, and similar to the last bathroom, the drop ceiling fluorescent light. Shower's original, I would say. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's original. But then there's this space too. He built in a seating there. A great place for towels and dry off coming from the pool or what have you. But this door, it's actually a solid door. I'm not used to seeing that. Normally it's glass or something like that, but it works fine. And then we're out into the pool. So the pool, again, the pool's gonna need to be resurfaced. The pool deck itself, the pavers seem to be in fine shape, but the pool deck is pitted in the bottom. You can see it there on the stairs and throughout the bottom of the pool. There's a little bit of fine tuning, focus, right? So all of that's just proof that it's a little bit worn. But it's a good size. So the pool is probably 14 feet across, and it's probably 20 feet long. Zoom back out. Yeah, it's probably 20 feet long, 22 feet long, somewhere in there. Alan would know better than me. And then you have big, pretty oak trees in the back, so it provides some additional privacy and shade and things like that. It also drops leaves here in the wintertime, but you've got all this grass, all this green space, all this wide openness, privacy, all that good stuff. And then you have the creek to the back right there, and green space to the back, or to the side. So let's walk down. I'll do this quick and then give you a buzz. So I have 5 kids, and my 5 kids, 2 boys, 3 girls, and 3 out of the 5 of them would be down here playing towards the creek all the time. But to the back, across, you've got more green space, privacy. Those houses are, 50 yards, 60 yards off of the edge of this creek. And then this creek is, 20 feet wide, same as the pool, 22 feet wide, give or take. And then the perspective of looking at the house. Again, you've got, all these pretty trees back here, plenty of room in the grass. You could put a fence back here if you wanted. I don't know that I would, but, different strokes for different folks, and just neat, really pretty. There's a fire pit of, stacked stone or something like that. This area would probably have to be leveled to sit out here and fire pit, but would be a great place to fire pit and hang out. You've got this little walking path and some rocks and some boulders for some interest in these flagstones. And I mean, there's some really cool features that, with a little bit of love could really be impressive. So this retention wall here needs paint or pressure wash or both. But then from the edge of this wall to the screen is 30 feet, give or take. So you got room. You got lots of room.